Tulalip 1908, A Year in Review. Anastasia Spithill was born about 1853 on Whidbey Island. Her mother was a Snohomish Indian woman. Anastasia was 2 years old when her mother died, and she was raised by her maternal grandfather, Chief Napoleon Bonaparte of the Snohomish. She attended the mission school on the Tulalip Reservation and was only 16 years old when she met and married Alexander Spithill, 20 years her senior, in a ceremony conducted by Father Charouse. Alexander came from Scotland and had been employed by Charouse as a carpenter. In 1886, she was allotted land on the Tulalip Reservation. However, Tulalip Agency Superintendent Charles M. Buchanan was not convinced that Indian women married to white men were entitled to allotment land. He took her land from her and gave it to William McLean. Eventually, Anastasia won her case in federal court in 1908, and Buchanan was forever restrained and enjoined from interfering with the complainant's occupation and possession of the lands. It was a lengthy and bitter battle in courts and in newspapers, but she did regain her allotment with her children. 1908 was an important year for the Tulalip Indian School. Washington State Senator Samuel H. Piles secured major federal funding to construct buildings for the school. In January, John Owens of Los Angeles was contracted to construct a new boys' dormitory, a hospital, a new mill, an electric light and power plant, a superintendent's residence house, a workshop, and a laundry. The amount allocated was $45,000. Worth over $1.5 million in today's dollars. According to information obtained from Wayne Williams, his grandfather, William Shelton, salvaged the wood from the old mill and used it for the construction of the longhouse that was built in 1915. In July, electric light poles had been placed around the Tulalip Agency grounds. Also in July, construction of the superintendent's residence house was complete. Superintendent Buchanan occupied the splendid new residence, but his time spent in his new quarters was short-lived, because in October, Buchanan received a promotion to become the new assistant superintendent at Haskell Institute in Lawrence, Kansas. Buchanan had had multiple offers to leave during his 16 years at Tulalip, but he refused until he felt the educational part of Tulalip had become successful. He did leave Tulalip for Kansas, but returned shortly after. The Tulalip Indian School Band, composed of 24 Indian boys, made their first public appearance at the Treaty Day celebration in January. These boys had never seen nor handled a musical instrument and had been practicing for 6 weeks prior to the appearance. They made numerous appearances around Puget Sound at baseball games, on other reservations, and other notable public events. Buchanan rented out the band for various occasions throughout the year. In January, Tulalip Indian students were treated to an amazing piece of equipment for 1908 for their viewing pleasure. A visitor to the school brought a stereo opticon, an early type of slide projector, truly an adventure in itself. He showed more than 100 slides, including a couple dozen colored slides of Tulalip. We'd love to show you the Tulalip slides if we knew where they were, or if they still exist. In February, William Shelton took 12 people from the school, including Dr. and Mrs. Buchanan and their daughter Louise, aboard the launch Ochida and set off to Hat Island. The purpose of the trip was to view a dead whale. It was a sulfur-bottomed blue whale, one of the largest animals on Earth. According to a report in the February 15, 1908 issue of the Everett Herald, the whale smelled to high heaven. Mrs. George D. Chafee of Everett, a frequent visitor to Tulalip, wrote a school song for Tulalip. It debuted in January 1908 and was sung to the tune of Afton Waters. (1908) Vital Statistics. According to a 1908 census, there were 389 total number of Indians living on the Tulalip Reservation. 193 were males and 196 were females. There were 207 aged 21 and over. 182 were younger than 21. The youngest was 2 months old Lillian Stella Shelton. The 3 Indian elders were 86-year-old Priest Point Sam, Annie Stopp, and Amanda Boston. Born that year: Austin Brown, Edna Brown, Harry Dunn, Martin Freiberg, Harriet Johnny, Catherine Molly Hatch, William Taft Sheldon, and Gus Smith Sr. And finally, 17-year-old Tulalip band member Alexander Begley wrote a letter that was printed in the May 1, 1908 issue of the Native American, a magazine devoted to those people interested in Indian culture, especially education. His words still ring true in 2025. We must be very patient with each other in our school days. Too often a misunderstanding arises through only partial knowledge. We see it sometimes in families. We have all seen many estrangements, have grown miles and miles apart in heart, in spirit, in all that concerns real and true living. Life is too short to hate people. I say, just long enough to love them. And that was Tulalip 1908, A Year in Review.